Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. What if the brightest smile on screen was quietly fighting a battle we never saw? Tonight, we revisit the story many of you have followed with care. Menglong, reportedly hospitalized 17 times in 2 years, and the swirl of questions surrounding the Kentucky. We'll look at what's publicly discussed, what remains uncertain, and most importantly, how we can pursue truth without losing our humanity. We begin not with headlines but with a human being. In quiet moments between red carpets and studio lights, Menglong was known for his gentle manner and steadfast calm. The widely discussed claim that he was hospitalized 17 times across 2 years has led many to reread familiar images with fresh empathy. The soft smile that now looks a little tired, the composed pose that might have been concealing pain. Whether every detail is ultimately verified or not, the response from audiences around the world tells its own story. Candles lit at home, short notes of thanks posted in several languages, and a shared wish that kindness should count for something. For viewers in midlife and beyond, use public grace under pressure speaks to a deeper truth. That dignity is not loud and courage is often quiet. Tonight we honor that spirit. For 30 seconds we simply breathe. A still photograph, a gentle piece of music, and the invitation to hold space. For you, for his family, for anyone carrying a hidden burden. This is where our story starts. With compassion first, conclusions later, and the promise to keep a clear line between what is known and what is still in question. As attention widened, other names entered the conversation, most prominently the Kai, surrounded by fragments that spread rapidly online, posts said to have appeared and then vanished, a museum statue that some felt resembled him, and a succession of heated replies and rebuttals. He has publicly denied wrongdoing, and according to open reporting, engaged legal counsel. Elsewhere, the singer Xiao Mighty faced the leak of private images and speculation about a final party, with supporters insisting material was edited or misread. A purported list of 17 attendees circulated. Director Tren Tan Tung published an alibi. Actress Diane Hai Dung rejected the way her messages were shared and asserted her right to privacy and legal remedy. Edits and deletions followed, fueling confusion rather than clarity. In this chapter, we apply a simple traffic light guide on screen. Green for items confirmed by multiple reputable sources. Amber for contested or incomplete. Red for rumor or conjecture. It is not a verdict, it is a reading aid. For an older, thoughtful audience, media literacy is not a buzzword. It is a safeguard. A deleted post is not the same as evidence. A likeness is not proof. We hold space for doubt and for fairness. What truly matters is not the noise that gathers around famous names, but the manner in which we choose to speak about them and to one another. A story like this tempts us towards certainty, to seize on fragments, to turn grief into spectacle, to mistake repetition for proof. Yet if we are honest, what we have is a tangle of claims and counterclaims, sincere sorrow and understandable frustration, alongside gaps that only careful verification can fill. In such a landscape, our first duty is restraint. Presuming innocence is not softness. It is civilization. It keeps the door open for truth to arrive intact rather than bent to fit our impatience. It also protects those who are not in the headlines, the parents reading comments at midnight, the colleagues who must carry on with ordinary work, the younger fans learning from how their elders behave online. Kindness, then, is not a sentimental afterthought. It is a discipline. It is the decision to ask, what do we actually know? What is still unclear? What would count as credible confirmation? It is the willingness to wait for independent sources, official statements, and corroborated timelines, rather than awarding victory to the loudest claim. It is also care for ourselves as viewers. Difficult narratives take a toll. The shoulders tighten, the mind loops, sleep thins. There is strength, not weakness, in closing the app, walking in the evening air, making tea, or phoning a friend. Rest sharpens judgment. It readies us to return with steadier hands and cooler eyes. To honor Yu's memory meaningfully is to refuse cruelty in his name. If his public dignity moved us, let our conduct reflect it. Speak plainly without malice, correct without humiliation, discuss without dragging strangers into the mud. Replace the rush to accuse with the patience to verify. Replace gossip with small practical goods. Check on a neighbor, write a note of thanks, donate a book, volunteer an hour. Tell us one quiet act you managed this week. We will carry these forward as a living ledger of grace, proof that attention can become compassion rather than outrage. In the end, truth and kindness are not rivals. Truth without kindness corrodes. Kindness without truth drifts. Together they light a narrow but reliable path. Let us take it, deliberate, respectful, and unafraid to wait for the whole story. A balanced timeline begins with humility. We acknowledge that the widely discussed claim of 17 hospital visits over 2 years is precisely that, a claim, compelling enough to reshape how many people read old images, yet still awaiting firm, public confirmation. From there, the story moves to the world's response. Candles on windowsills, brief notes in several languages, a quiet insistence that kindness should matter as much as fame. The conversation then widens and accelerates. Names are pulled into focus, denials are issued, lawyers are engaged, and social feeds fill with screenshots, fragments, and interpretations. Some posts appear and vanish, others are edited. A statue is said to resemble someone at the center of debate. A list circulates without a clear, authoritative provenance. Each item generates heat, but heat is not the same as light. A careful chronology resists the false comfort of tidy narratives and asks different questions. What do we actually know from primary attributable sources? What remains uncertain, either because evidence is incomplete or because the sources are in conflict? What would count as adequate verification? A formal statement from an accountable institution, independent reporting by reputable outlets, matching records that survive scrutiny over time. This posture is not timidity. It is a protective habit that preserves the integrity of truth and the dignity of people who may never make headlines but live with the consequences of our speculation. The families who read late at night, the colleagues who must continue their work under a cloud not of their making. A balanced timeline also admits how the digital medium distorts time. Deletions feel like revelations. Resemblance is mistaken for proof. A cascade of reposts simulates consensus. Placing events in sequence breaks that spell. We can say, honestly, that there are claims deserving attention, contradictions demanding resolution, and gaps where patience is not only prudent but necessary. We can also say that presuming innocence for every named individual is not a loophole but a standard that keeps inquiry humane. Where matters stand now is a landscape of partial signals. The task is to keep our bearings, to separate what is documented from what is desired, to treat conjecture as conjecture, and to demand confirmations that endure beyond a news cycle. If Yu's public grace touched us, let our method reflect it. Measured language, accountable sourcing, and the courage to pause. In the end, a timeline is more than a list of moments. It is a promise to seek clarity without cruelty, to wait for the whole story, and to recognize that how we travel towards truth is part of the truth we finally reach. If you taught us anything, it's that gentleness is a form of courage. May our search for answers reflect the kindness he showed. For everyone named in this conversation, we uphold presumption of innocence. For everyone grieving, we offer respect. For everyone still asking questions, we stand with you in patience and care. If this balanced approach speaks to you, please subscribe to Update X24H, like this video, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next carefully sourced update. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Your thoughtful comments and respectful discussion keep this community strong. Stay kind, stay curious, and take good care of yourself.